Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be doing another review, and today we're going over the Master Grade Wing Zero Burka or Kotoki, however you want to say it. And that would, it's this one right here. Not that one, this one. If you couldn't tell the difference. But anyways, let's get into it. Now, I'm not going to lie, I do have a soft spot for this kit. This was the first kit I ever painted, and why I chose Master Grade I have no clue. All I know is that I just always loved the design of this kit since I seen it, and only thing I hated the color scheme. I absolutely hated it. As you can tell, I went completely different. But I was excited when I heard the Master Grade Burka or whatever of this was coming out, and I was like, it's kind of a bit of a redemption or a really just to see how far I've come in my progress in the past year and a half or so since I've really been starting to mess with kits. I mean, hell, I didn't even know how to remove a seam line when I done this thing. But just want to kind of give y'all a little quick thought on that or whatever, and we'll get into the actual kit we're reviewing today, and I'll quit showing off my old work. Now, if you've ever built the original Master Grade of this kit, right off the bat you're going to notice a whole bunch of visual changes they've made on this guy. You got parts of the inner frame poking through, a whole new slew of panel lines and armor parts and everything. They crammed a lot of detail into this kit this time around. Now, of course, granted, there is a 16 year difference, I'm pretty sure, in between the first Master Grade of this kit and this one that just came out. So, Bandai's progressed a long way since they first designed this guy. But just all they're able to pack into this, it's really nice. I love the look of it. It is a bit beefier to me in certain proportions. The head's slightly bigger, the shoulders a little bit too. The legs are about the same dimensions for the most part, and I think the chest might be a little bit bulkier. And the wings for the most part are basically the same. There are a few little changes in that, and we'll go over those here when we go over the backpack as well. But I wanted to give y'all a quick spin around of the both kits side by side and let y'all kind of get a quick visual look of what the differences were, and we'll kind of refer back to the original Master Grade for reference here and there through the review. Alright, well, this is my first time having these two actually standing side by side like this, and I did not realize how much taller the Burka version here is than the original Master Grade. So just for another bit of size comparison before we get into accessories, we got the 144th high grade ARC 78 Beyond Global there. You kind of see the height difference on those guys. Yeah, I did not realize how much taller it was in the original version. But onto the accessories. Now we do have a smaller sheet of these foil decals, or foil stickers, which I haven't really used any of them except for the eyes yet, because I'm not sure which of these or if I'll use any of them when I get around to painting this, so I didn't want to bother putting them on the kit just yet. And as usual with the Burka, you get a nice sheet of water slide decals, and these ought to keep you busy for at least a couple of days. But they do look really nice. I will be using a fair amount of these. Probably not all of them, but I'll be using a fair amount of these when I finally paint this guy. And also, for an accessory that the original version did not come with, the Burka version here, it comes with the shield, which is a really nice addition. And this thing is nicely part separated, got nice detail on it, and has a fair amount of moving parts to it as well. There's like a bit of a cog system up here in the nose of it with these two wings, and you pull one and they'll both go out and in. Pretty simple, but that works pretty well. And the other moving gimmicks on this are parts for the transformation that we'll see later on. But you'll fold these two tabs out here on the side, if I can get a hold of this one, and then this part will fold out and has several points of articulation to it. And yeah, I already took the backpacks off of the kits just to make things a little easier, but you will fold the fin there on the forearm back, and if I remember correctly, this should just snap in. Oh, you snap it on and slide it down, and it goes slide into the forearm just like so. And it seems like it holds on there quite nicely. A couple of beam sabers here, your typical par for the course. It does come also with the beam sabers here, the blades for that, which I haven't cut these out because this is my third kit and these are exactly the same ones from the original version, so I just left them on the runners for right now. And those attach into the handles the same as usual. And you also have this little piece here, if you can get it to focus. This is a little simple vent piece, which is used to cover the hole back here for when it's on its action base. It's got a little hole right there where it put the action base pegs in, and this just simply slots in there to cover that up when you're not using it. One thing I want to point out real quick while it's on my mics, I have these two little pieces here. These here are little parts of the chest, and they slide up right in here, but for the life of me, these do not stay in. They fall out constantly, so I'm just going to leave them out until I get around to painting it, and then I'm going to glue it in. And I will recommend that if you don't paint your kits, you're just going to be straight building this. When you build it, glue this thing in, because if you lose it, you'll probably never see it again. It will disappear into the void. Just giving you a heads up on that. And of course, you do have several different hand options. These are the swappable fingers, and you have the ones like the pistol grip for holding the Buster rifles. You got one for each hand. Open expressive fingers, and as well another one, each hand. Oh, and then your hands for holding the beam blades, beam sabers, I mean. And you'll have two of those, and on it right now I have the closed fist version of those. And we also have, of course, the acclaimed Buster rifle. Now these, they look pretty much basically the same, but they do have a nice gimmick to them. And all you do is these will fold up. You open that up a little bit. Swing, first close the handle in like that. Then you simply swing that down, and the sight will fold down like so. And just close that back up. So those close up very nicely. And also, the new gimmick that this kit has is you can store these underneath the wing, and they hold in there pretty securely. It's a pretty nice little gimmick there. Another option if you're not, showing it off on your shelf with the Buster rifles in his hands, you can store it on the wing. That way you don't have to worry about keeping all the parts elsewhere in a tub or in the bag or box or something like that. So that is very nice. And now there was one issue I had with the Buster rifles on the original version of this kit, and it was this guy could not hold his rifles, and I'll show you real quick. Now here is the original version of this master grade, and we'll kind of turn it this way and get his arms out. And these have the 3+1 and a thumb design for the hands. And this is the actual original Buster rifle that came with this guy. And really there's nothing you can do to get this guy to hold these for the life of you. They're too long, and there's no peg system or nothing in here. They just, by sheer will and the grip of the hand, are supposed to hold it in there, and it's just floppy and janky. That was one of the biggest complaints I had about this kit when I first built it. And this one's fingers are actually a lot stouter than the first one I built, to be honest, so it's holding it better, but there's just no positioning that or anything. It just wants to swing around on you. But they did remedy that in this new version, seeing as now it has the removable fingers on it. Simply place it in there like so. Oh, and you'll also at the same time flip this little part out, and you have this little peg here, and the forearm here has a little hole in it that slides up. You slide the cuffs up on the forearms, and there's a little hole there. And now this actually gives you a nice firm grip on this guy. Now there are a few other parts that come with this, and they're just some transformation parts. I believe this one is used for when he's kind of in the shield position, when his wings are folded in forward like a cloak. This is an adapter for the action base for when you have him transformed. And I believe this one is for the actual kind of bird form transformation, which we'll see how these are used here in a bit when we get to the transformations and everything. But on from there, we shall move to articulation. And we'll start with the backpack here and get it done out of the way. We'll swing this around here to the side. Now these back smaller wings here, you have a good up and down. These are not much different than the original version, and out. And you also get a pivot there. And of course the inner wings here will fold out like so. And then for the main upper wings here, you have a hinge there, rotation at this point, another little bit of a hinge right up here, which also has a ball socket, and then a pivot right up here at the actual wing. And the wings here, of course, the extra feathers and everything, these are all ball sockets, and these are plastic now. The original version of this were rubber, but these are actually plastic this time around, which is nice, makes painting a lot easier. But these have a cog system in them, so they open up just like so, and this opening gimmick works a lot better than the original version as well. There's also, the only seam line that I've found on this kit is down the wings here. Just like the original version. I guess I couldn't really figure out a way to do all the gimmicks on this and get rid of that seam line, but it's not a big deal. You can remove it yourself if you like, or plus it's on the back, and typically it's going to be sitting on a shelf with the front of the kit facing you, so you may not want to have to worry about that too terribly much, but that's up to you. It's all personal choice. Now onto the mobile suit here. We'll start from the head down, of course. You have a good chicken neck. It's got a swiveling neck point in there that ball joint up into the head. Then the piece down there ball joints down to the collar as well, and then down the collar has a moving bit as well. And also on the side of the head, this is new. This opens up on the ears here. There you go. It's a little extra bonus added detail there on that. Both sides of that will open up, and you just kind of push it up like so to close that off. Then here on the shoulders, you have his Gatling guns hidden off in here. And on this version, you can actually get them open easy enough without having really any issue, which is very nice. They'll simply just close back, no problem. Then here on the shoulder also, which is going to be very nice. I don't know if this helps with the transformation at all or not, but the shoulders here, you have some extra play right here in the chest, but also they will slide forward about that far, which is definitely going to help you out to get that double buster rifle pose there. And as for the shoulder armor, you got these little bits in here that will move. This one right here moves a little bit itself, not much. And the shoulder armor does of course move independently of the arm. And the arm, taking it up, you'll get about that far. Not all the way up, but it's not too bad. You can deal with that pretty well. Of course, there's rotation at the upper bicep, a nice double bend at the elbow there. Then of course you have the typical ball joint of the hand here at the wrist. And then of course, and also nice little addition to the articulation on this is the forearm here can rotate around, so you can bring that cuff around to where you might want it, kind of get it out of the way or whenever you're posing it. And of course, as we've seen, okay, be slightly gentle with that when you go slide it up. I might end up gluing those parts when we're all said and done. But of course, that little gimmick to show the hole for the peg on the guns. Now for the ab crunch, it's not too bad. You got a pretty decent front ab crunch right there. It doesn't have any backwards movement, which of course you really don't want, seeing as how this is got a big backpack on it, because if it did, it just kind of start leaning back on you. And then of course the front skirts move independently, like typical. Back skirts as well, separate and independent. Well, I guess that means the same thing, separate and independent. Anyways, those will move. Now the side skirts are pretty nice, as they go up and down right here. They don't go forward and back, but I'm assuming it's part for the transformation, and they'll hinge all the way out here on this little gimmick. So they can, even if it's for the transformation, that'll help you get quite a few decent little poses, you know, you can get the leg up around and everything in through there. So that's pretty neat gimmick there. And speaking of the legs, independently they can slide forward and back. Have a gimmick like that. Of course, you can get the leg up about that high. No complaints on that at all. And since it has a moving rear skirt, all the way back like that is pretty good. I don't think these give a full splits, but that is going to give you more than you could really ask for anyways. And also with the hips down here, the peg that comes out through the bottom here, it will drop the leg down as well. So, but plus when you do like that, when you move the leg out, it'll kick it out there at an angle. Now for the bend of the leg, these top armor and the knee, this all has a very nice bit of armor separation there. Now you kind of manually pull down, but the way this does, this makes me think it fits the kit design very well, because it's kind of like a feathered out sort of look on all that. And I really like the detail in that part separation. And then to get the leg a little further back, as you see it hasn't gone all the way, the back of the leg here opens up, which gives you that extra little space to bring that leg all the way up and tuck it under. So you get a complete leg bend out of that, and still have all this nice just detail how it all separates. Do love how they design the legs on this guy. When you have straight leg, I just closes up in the back real quick. And then for the ankles here, of course this arm right here moves up and down. You got a little bit back here that will move and open up, give you a little bit of play. Now the foot here doesn't have much front and back really, because the armor and everything hitting. Oh, and this opens up, I almost forgot. Once you have these open, you can also open that up as well. Doesn't really help with the ankle play though, but your side to side is pretty decent on this guy. So no complaints on that. And of course, when it comes to transformation, you do have a toe down, but you also have a nice little bit of a toe movement here. The toes of it will bend up quite well. Don't bend down at all though. And as far as I can think, that is pretty much... Oh, and yes, the cockpit, of course. I almost completely forgot about that. It does slide in and out there. What did I just lose? Alright, now Breezy, keep your butt over there, for the love of God. Alright, take 3. Now, before I get into my final thoughts, I want to point out that something I missed. The action base you see this on right now does come with this kit, which is a huge upgrade compared to the original version. So, I mean, this thing's great. It's sturdy. Any pose you want to get, within reason, of course. It'll be on your shelf, no problem. This won't fall over. Now, as for my final thoughts, I hate transforming gimmicks. I mean, this is fairly stable and everything. It's just finicky as hell to get it there. And it's a Gundam laying on its stomach. It's nothing special, at least to me personally, but anyways. But this kit is really just an awesome kit. They did a great job redesigning the Wing Zero. Only complaints I can actually think of about this is those 2 tiny pieces that are in the chest that you'll want to glue in. Other than that, I mean, it's perfect. They fixed any problems the original version had and added plenty of extra. You know, it got this nice shield, has plenty of gimmicks to it. It can actually hold the Buster rifles and pose with them nicely. I mean, if you got the money, and right now I think since it's just come out, I think they're selling for around $50 to $60. I think some places have them on sale, but if you can, pick it up. This kit will not disappoint you. It's wonderful. Part separation, color separation, and honestly, the way the whole thing goes together, it should be fairly simple to tear apart and paint and reassemble. But yeah, guys, that's about all I really got for this kit. I mean, go get it. But guys, if y'all enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe and give us a like, and I'll talk to y'all later.